All of them looked tired, and none of them met my eyes. It was lonely work to watch over them, but I didn't learn anything about Hangfire's dark scheme. I hoped I'd have better luck in the library, and on that bad morning, I was reading two things I hoped would help. The first was a book on caviar, and I didn't care who knew it. Caviar is the eggs of a fish, usually a sturgeon, black and shiny, and served on small pieces of toast at parties, to which you are not invited. As of that morning, at 13 years of age, I had never eaten any. I was not interested in eating any. I was reading Caviar, Salty Jewel of the Tasty Sea, in the hopes of learning something. But as I finished a paragraph about the special tanks they use when the sturgeon are young, I wondered if I was wrong once more. The other thing I was reading was a secret. It had taken 10 days to reach me, through the hard work of a number of people close to my heart, but far away on the map. We'd learned together, in what most people would call a history class, that one good way to hide things is in plain sight. People often forget to look at something right in front of them, and as promised, I had found something taped to the underside of the table where I always sat. It had been tricky to peel away the tape without anyone noticing, and once it was removed from its hiding place and smoothed out so it would be easier to read, I kept sliding it under the book on caviar whenever I feared I was being watched. It was silly to hide it. It was just a small newspaper article from the city. Nobody in Stained by the Sea cared about it. Nobody but me. I hid it anyway, when the librarian approached. You cannot have a really terrific library without at least one terrific librarian. The way you cannot have a really terrific bedroom unless you can lock the door. Stained by the Sea's only librarian, or, as he called himself, sub-librarian, was terrific because he was kind and helpful, without being irritating or bossy. This sort of person is an endangered species, almost extinct. Spending time in his library was like seeing a rare and strange beast that I might not ever see again. And sure enough, in a few short days, this library, the only one in Stained by the Sea, would be gone forever. "I'm sorry to interrupt you, Snicket," the librarian said, in his very deep voice. His name was Dashiell Quirty, a tidy and proper name that didn't match his appearance. As usual, he was wearing a leather jacket decorated with small scraps of metal, a garment so dangerous-looking that Quirty's hair always seemed to be scurrying away from it. I don't know what a matching name might have been. Wild Harry Odd Jacket comes to mind. "That's quite all right," I said, then heard the newspaper rustle underneath my book. The article told the story of a young woman who had been arrested in the city for the crime of breaking and entering. Breaking and entering wasn't the right term, I thought. My sister didn't break in. Not really. She had simply entered the Museum of Items when the museum was closed. It didn't seem like a good reason to put someone in prison, but according to the article, that was likely to happen. "I was just checking to see if you had found everything you need," Quirty said, either not noticing or pretending not to notice what I was hiding. "There are some new Italian dictionaries that I thought you might find interesting." "Maybe another time," I said. "Right now, I have just the book I'm looking for. I'm glad to see that the shelves are in order again." "Yes, it was a bother to reorganize everything," Quirty said. "But now the sprinkler and alarm system is finally installed. The controls are right over there in the northeast corner of the room, so I feel much less nervous about the threats that have been made." "You've mentioned those threats before," I said, "but you've never said anything more about them." "Yes, I have."